RECAPS is a set of 6 practical strategies designed to help caregivers like you to assist people with dementia to maintain everyday skills for as long as possible. Each letter of RECAPS stands for a different strategy. Obviously, everyone's situation will be different, and we can discuss some of the things that you're experiencing. Not everything we talk about will happen to you, but the RECAPS strategies can be used in various situations, so you should be able to try some of them and see what works for you.
My name's Arnold. My wife Isabel was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease 3 years ago. I suppose you'd say she's in the middle stages now. She lives at home with me and I'm a primary carer. Well, though we do have some family who help out, especially my granddaughter Sophie.
I'm Amanda. Ron's my father-in-law. He's in the early stages of dementia. He recently moved in with us because we were worried about him. He's Steve's father, but I'm probably the one who's around most of the time.
Let's start with the first strategy, R for reminders. So we know that with dementia there will be forgetting, but there are things we can do to help compensate for this in day-to-day life.
I've been finding lately that Isabel is forgetting things more and more, but she doesn't like other people to know that she forgets. So I find it helps if I give her little reminders before we go places, just so that she has everything that she needs. It's chilly outside. Have you got your jacket?
Oh.
And more importantly, I've really found it worthwhile to subtly slip in people's names if they're walking towards us. And if it's someone we don't see very often, I'll mention where we know them from as well. This means that Isabel is quite pleased because she can call people by name. Oh look, it's Sophie come to visit us.
Hello, Nana.
Oh, hello, Sophie.
These little spoken prompts are a good way to help with names and other things that people forget, like glasses, jackets, and so forth. And you can do this without drawing attention to the person's memory problems.
Since Ron's moved in with us, I've tried to keep the house a bit more organised and Ron-friendly. I've done things like sticking signs on the doors at home with a word and a picture so that he knows what's in there as he walks past. And on the drawers and cupboards as well. And I've set up a reminder centre as well. It's a spot in the kitchen where we've got a whiteboard and a pin board. I put up a calendar there. And I also put up notes for Ron regarding appointments and important phone numbers. We've even got a book there, and I get the visitors and relatives to write in it, just to let me and Ron know when they've been and what they've said, and when they're coming back.
So you can use spoken or visual reminders to reduce the impact of forgetting. The next strategy is E for environment. This strategy relates to your home environment or surroundings and where things are kept.
Yeah, well, we always keep the milk in the door of the fridge right near the end. But someone must have put it back somewhere else, because the other morning I walked out and Ron was pouring custard on his cereal. It'd obviously been put in the milk spot.
So, Ron's habit of finding the milk in that one spot was really strong. And this is something you can use to your advantage. If you keep things that you use every day in a permanent place, it helps the person automatically find them and put them back there. Especially if you get into the habit as early as possible, this will really help.
I find that Isabel is getting more confused if I move things around the house. I had a hallway table. It's been there forever, but it's on the way to the bathroom, and I was worried that she might trip over it when she gets up to go to the toilet during the night, so I moved it. But after I did that, she didn't seem to recognize the way so well.
It's best not to change the surroundings unless you have to, because that can be confusing for the person. People with dementia function best in familiar environments, so have permanent places for everyday objects and avoid changing the person's surroundings as much as possible. The C in RECAPS stands for consistent routines.
I suppose we've always been creatures of habit. Really, we like to have our meals on the dot. But I do think it helps Isabel if she knows what to expect. So we've got other routines in place now as well, like doing everything in the same order when we're getting ready in the morning and walking the same path when we go for a walk. Seems to keep her calmer. And she loves her dancing on a Wednesday, so we always try to do that if we can.
When you keep up familiar routines, you make them easier to remember or more automatic. Establishing a routine can be simple, like keeping things happening at around the same time each day or on the same day each week. You can establish new routines as well, if you don't already have them. And the earlier you start following consistent routines, the more it helps the person to stay involved in regular activities. By sticking to familiar routines or starting new ones, you can make the most of the person's memory for regular habits and also reduce anxiety. The next recap strategy is A for attention. People with dementia have difficulty focusing their attention, and you'll need to help with this. When you want to explain something or show the person something, it's best if you can avoid distractions. You'd be surprised how badly noise, like a TV or radio, interferes with a person's ability to pay attention to what you're saying or doing.
Do you mind if I turn the TV off for a minute? Okay.
You can also help focus the person's attention by getting eye contact and bringing any item you're talking about into the person's line of vision. To help the person pay attention, you'll need to avoid distractions and focus their attention on the task at hand. The next strategy is P for practice. Getting plenty of practice helps people to maintain their everyday skills for as long as possible. Whenever you can, give the person opportunities to carry out tasks from start to finish, even if it's slow, and try not to take over. You can support them by modifying the task, maybe giving them the easy part, and by giving little reminders. At the very least, try to let them carry out the final stages of a task, because this will still give them that sense of achievement at completing something.
We got a new TV. Will I be able to teach Ron how to use it? He used the old one, but the buttons on this one's slightly different on the remote.
Okay, when the person needs to learn something new, you'll need to give them plenty of practice, but in a natural sort of way. Ron will learn best if you space out the practice over time and if you use the same prompts or reminders each time.
Okay, Ron. Let's turn the TV on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the big red button to turn it on.
Oh, that one.
Thanks.
I thought it was the other one.
Oh no, this is the new one.
Oh.
You'll get it after a few goes.
Having plenty of practice can help the person maintain everyday skills as well as learn new ones. The last recap strategy is S for simple steps. You can help people with dementia continue to do things for themselves by breaking tasks down into simple steps. Just give one simple instruction for each step. You may find they're having trouble keeping track of what comes next. In this case, you may need to prompt the person about the order of the steps as well.
Oh, Nana, did you want some cheese first? And did you want some tomato?
People with dementia may often find a task difficult if they're feeling rushed. Remember, it may take them longer to do things, so allow extra time and don't hurry them. You can help people with dementia complete tasks by breaking them down into simple steps and allowing enough time. The important points to take away from the RECAPS strategies are: give reminders to prompt the person when they need it. These can be visual or verbal. Create a familiar environment with permanent places for commonly used objects and avoid changing the surroundings wherever possible. Have consistent routines to help support the person's automatic memory for regular habits as well as to avoid anxiety. Help them pay attention by limiting distractions and focusing their attention on the task at hand. Give plenty of practice to help maintain the person's everyday skills and to help them learn new ones. Finally, break tasks down into simple steps and give them plenty of time.